So the results are in, and the Lib Dems won in Brecon and Radnorshire, but only by forming a pact with Plaid Cymru and the Green Party, who decided not to stand candidates. The Lib Dems won, but only by a small margin. Does this now mean there's going to be a pact between the Brexit Party and the Conservatives? That's the question. Well, let's have a closer look at the results. So, as we can see, UKIP had a complete disaster. They got 242 votes up against the monster Raving Loony Party, who beat them with 334 votes. Things are looking pretty grim. Now, the Lib Dems got 13,800 votes, so they beat the Conservatives by just over 1,400 votes. So if you were to add the Brexit Party's vote to the Conservatives, they would have won. The Labour Party had a complete disaster. They're down to 5% of the vote. And it's worth looking at these numbers down here a little bit more closely, because what we can also see is that the Conservatives, although they lost 10%, and these are in comparison to the 2017 general election, they still got nearly 40% of the vote in the constituency. It was pretty good, and I think it shows that the Conservative vote has bounced hugely as a result of Boris Johnson. Now, Brecon and Radnorshire was a reasonably strong Leave seat, 51.72%, so roughly similar to the overall referendum result across the country. So the real question now is whether or not the Conservatives and the Brexit Party will do exactly what the Lib Dems have done. Well, I've been looking at some data for the seats around the country. Let me just show you a few of the results. So from looking at my database, I've identified that there are 23 parliamentary seats in which the Leave vote at the EU referendum was more than 60%, which have also got majorities of less than 5,000, and they've got a Remain MP currently in the seat. Now, 17 of those seats are Labour seats and 6 are Conservatives. Now, from the point of view of having a pact, the problem there would be, for Boris Johnson, would be the Conservative seats, because it would mean if he publicly had a pact with the Brexit Party, it would mean telling those Conservatives, those Remain voting Conservatives, that he was not going to allow them to run in their seats. Now, I don't know what the internal workings of the Conservative Party, they may not even allow that anyway. But even if they did, those Conservatives would be in a position where they might want to, or might decide to resign the whip, i.e. not vote with the Conservative Party in government, and therefore the government could collapse as a result. Now, in the Labour seats, it's a different scenario, obviously. The Conservative Party has candidates there, but those candidates aren't in Parliament, so they don't actually have the same sort of power that current sitting MPs do. So as we can see, there are real risks for Boris Johnson in publicly declaring a pact with the Brexit Party. And I think if we look a little bit further into some other results, you'll see how it becomes more complicated. There are 46 parliamentary seats where there's a 52% or more Leave vote, where there's a less than a 5,000 majority, and again a Remain MP. But the scenario changes quite a lot here. We've now got 24 Labour MPs, 19 Conservative, 2 Lib Dem and 1 Plaid Cymru. So there are lots of very vulnerable Leave seats available for the Brexit Party. But as you can see in this scenario, it's very difficult for the Conservatives to publicly suggest that they're going to have a pact with the Brexit Party. And from the Brexit Party's point of view, there are lots of seats in which they could run candidates and they'll reduce the Conservative vote. But in so doing, they'll let the Lib Dems or the Labour Party into the seat to win the seat instead. So it's a difficult scenario they've got to deal with. So I think all in all, there is a possibility of a pact, but I don't think it'll be public. It would probably be secret. It'd be arrangements between the two parties behind closed doors without us knowing for sure all about it. And if it does become public at any point, it'll be within the election cycle. It will be after an election is called. To see our future videos, follow us on Twitter or Facebook, but be sure to select See First, or the chances are you may not see the videos in your newsfeed. Or to be sure you don't miss anything, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell icon. That way you'll get a notification by email as soon as a new video is available. In the meantime, please do help us out and like and share or retweet this post so your friends and followers can see it too. Thanks for watching, see you next time.